A rash of mysterious disappearances of honeybee colonies has many bee growers scratching their heads, and it might cost you the next time you go to the grocery store. Will Hallman joins us from an apiary in Mebane. Will, what's happening to these bees?
Well, Adam, the bees behind me are dying, and nobody knows why. I talked to commercial bee grower Jeff Lee, and he says that his bee stock has greatly decreased. And he's not the only one losing bees.
Oh, it's been found in about 25 states. This is a national issue.
Bees are critical for many crops, including apples, blueberries, and cucumbers. Without bees, you wind up with fewer North Carolina fruits and vegetables and higher costs. At Whole Foods, some of my vegetables come from just 15 miles away, but without bees, they'll have to come from another state. The transportation cost of food would increase its price, but price isn't the only reason to care about local food. Whole Foods marketing team leader Christine Pardon says local food matters because it benefits the consumer.
You know, it helps to build a sense of community, a sense of family, which is important to the Whole Foods company. Also ensures a much fresher quality of products.
The disappearing bees also affect the state economy. If crops can't grow here, North Carolina stands to lose a lot of money. In Mebane, I'm Will Hallman, Carolina Week.
Will, tell me, what usually causes bees to die off like this?
Well, Adam, parasitic mites and disease kill a lot of bees, but have not been proven to be the issue in this rash of bee deaths.
Will Hallman reporting from Mebane. Thanks, Will. Today's Black History Focus takes us to McCorkle Place, the site of the university's Unsung Founders Memorial. The stone monument, sculpted by artist Doho So, is a memorial to all people of color who helped build UNC. Controversy surrounded the memorial when it came to Carolina in 2005. 300 small bronze figurines support a larger table. Some say the monument belittles the people it was meant to exalt. The class of 2002 gave the memorial as a senior gift. Like most towns in the country, Chapel Hill has a history of racial segregation. When the old Chapel Hill Cemetery was the only cemetery in town, a single wall bisected the land, separating whites from blacks. Many of the graves on the black side are marked only with rocks. Graves that do have tombstones often show their age with moss and are weathered and broken. UNC professor Timothy McMillan says the cemetery reminds us that a racial divide still exists.
I think it's really interesting that the graveyard is so typical of America, even in Chapel Hill. If you're buried in the black section, you're black. If you're buried in the white section, you're white. To 2007.
The cemetery was built in 1776. The university took control of it in 1988.
And though the Chapel Hill Cemetery hasn't changed in decades, the landscape of Franklin Street is changing all the time. Reporter Takita Wilkerson has more about the comings and goings of Chapel Hill's most popular road.
Downtown Franklin Street is the northern boundary of UNC's main campus, and every day many students pass by the shops, bars, and restaurants on this street. In the past 2 years, some students have seen more than a few stores. This building was the home of the Gap clothing store. It closed in 2004. And this building housed the Car Drug store that closed in January. And the trend continues as empty spaces remain the talk of the town.
I was about to come up here and buy soap, so I'm probably not going to be clean for a couple of weeks.
Can't go anywhere and get cigarettes, except for TJ's, and that's about it.
I have to go all the way across town to go to a CVS or by University Mall to get my other stuff.
It's going to be depressing, the way I see it.
The rugby store, operated by Polo Ralph Lauren, is the latest store that will be closing on Franklin Street.
Unlike other closings, Julian's men's store across the street will be filling this space.
However, that still leaves one more empty store.
It's just weird, everything moving around. I'm surprised the companies around here don't get so much business, and it seems, I don't know why they would be closing.
Downtown Chapel Hill Partnership says their job is to figure out just that.
We want to update some of our market data that was done actually about 5 years ago so that we can gain a better understanding of exactly how the shifts in the marketplace have affected downtown Chapel Hill.
Downtown Chapel Hill Partnership says it will continue to work with the university and town to ensure that Franklin Street remains the same. In Chapel Hill, this is Takita Wilkerson reporting for Carolina Week.
And it's not all bad news for Franklin Street. The posh Franklin Hotel opened last month, and a Chipotle Mexican grill is set to open at the site of the old Viz Art video in June. This morning, a different sort of bus was lingering at the curb in front of the Student Union. C-SPAN is traveling to the country and turning heads with its Road to the White House tour bus. Curious students popped in to lounge on the red cushioned benches that recently seated political notables like Bill Clinton. C-SPAN representatives also showed clips and answered questions about political programming. The channel is able to run on support from cable television, not the government. The bus will continue circling the country until polls close in November.
Here's an unusual sight outside Memorial Hall, people pitching tents. The crowd was waiting to buy tickets to see Ben Folds perform on March 28th. Many arrived more than 24 hours before tickets went on sale to stake out their spots. Students bundled up for the cold night but stayed occupied by studying and doing crossword puzzles. UNC freshman Matt Harkey was one of the first people in line and says camping out for tickets was a no-brainer.
Things just lined up right. I like Ben Folds, and just being on a college campus, nothing better to do, you know. Schoolwork, who cares about that? Might as well wait outside for a concert.
And now we're joined by weathercaster Jonathan O. And, you know, the people sitting outside, it was for them it was chilly, but it certainly wasn't as cold as it's been in the past.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking that, you know, Kayville, you know, over at Duke, it was really cold earlier, but now, you know, it seems like it's warming up over here.
Yeah,
so.
70s in the winter.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing, isn't it? But yeah, it is still the middle of February. It's incredible. But some people are already putting their winter clothes away. When we come back, I'll let you know if the shorts and flip-flops are here to stay or if winter jackets will need to make a comeback.